This week, we've got a couple of very special legendary cars that we're going to bring you in today's Legend Cars section here in Gran Turismo 7. It's me, Kyle Rose, here to talk about some of these very unique, very special cars that are available in the Legend dealership right now. Alright, so about once a week, we're going through the used cars and the legendary cars over here. Or Legend cars, I guess you could call it specifically. But we always start with the used cars, show you what is going on over here. Now, there are a few things changing about every week or so. We're just trying to keep up once a week, because things change pretty quickly through the game. So anyways, we got a couple of cars that are... This one, I think the Fiat Abarth is brand new. It does have a little new logo up in the top left corner. But this car is actually pretty sweet. It's only $51,000. And in Gran Turismo economy, that's not so bad, right? Max power is 30 horsepower. Cool little thing about this car is the trunk lid is popped open, but let's learn more about this car. Let's see what Andy has to say on it. Many consider the early 1960s as Abarth's golden era. Although it only produces a mere 31.5 horsepower, which might lead you to think it's underpowered. But in fact, its small, lightweight construction gave it surprising amount of pep. In fact, its performance is nothing short of incredible. So that is the Abarth. But what else do we have that's new? We have the R5 Turbo. I mean, this is a classic car. I think this actually popped up before. I don't remember what the price was, but I think in the beginning of the game, I think this car was available. We also have a new Civic Type R, 1997, that showed up. The Silvia Q has showed up as well. Still saying that car is new. Big one here. I think my friend Basic Ollie, he is going to be thrilled to see the Impreza Coupe WRX Type R STI. This is actually a pretty legitimate. This is one of the most popular two doors available out there for the Subaru. The Corvette is now gone. So is in the M3 2007. The Dodge Viper GTS also making a comeback. This is another car that showed its face early when the game was first released. So we've seen a little bit of a rotation here. The DeLorean, look at the price tag on that thing, $442,600. There is no chance a DeLorean would go for that price in real world, in any market, I don't think. I don't think I've met any nutcase that would spend $400,000 on the DeLorean S2. Although this is the brand new remanufactured version, I believe, because it is a 2004. And DeLorean actually did a bunch of remanufactured car parts using the original dies. And this is an American car as well, but I do not suggest buying this thing at that price. That's absurd. Anyways, we're moving on. Let's see here. It is limited stock. If you do want to spend $400,000 on a DeLorean, feel free. Then also the RX-7, the Spirit Type R. This says this is a new car. I think this was another car that's coming back into rotation. And when the Viper came through on that first rotation as well over here, we actually purchased that car right out of the gate. One car I want to talk about in particular, though, a Gran Turismo classic, the TVR Tuscan Speed 6 2000. This is actually, for me, this is a legendary car in Gran Turismo. When I first learned about TVR because of this game, and TVR was the first like British fun-looking car that I ever like laid my eyes on. Now this car also came in some really cool, interesting colors. It had like the chameleon paint on it and stuff. The price is actually pretty fair. I think I would recommend if you're gonna buy a used car this week, say pick one, the $70,000 TVR Tuscan Speed 6 would be my personal pick. I like the car, I like its unique look. But let's see what Andy has to say about the Tuscan Speed 6. The TVR Tuscan Speed 6 is a particularly striking race car, don't you agree? Under its hood is the Speed 6, a 4.0-liter inline 6 developed in-house. Another reason why I like the TVR. With its magnificent roaring gobs of torque, it's no wonder the car was named after its engine. Power output is 355 horsepower, but it weighs only 2,425 pounds, so it's fast. This is a really special car, actually. We're going to buy it right now because this car is personal to me in this game. This car screams Gran Turismo. Fantastic car. We're buying that one. Thank you so much. Play the music. Give me the cutscene. We'll add that to our collection. We're still not at 44, though. Oh my god, I need to buy some cars. I also need to get some money. Anyways, let's move on. Let's go to our weekly legend cars. Let's see what's changed in here. Now, I've heard some updates. After I had posted the last video, there's one car that made an appearance that I didn't expect to see. And it, of course, is the McLaren F1 GTR. Everyone's been screaming about this car. This is the car. This is legendary. This is a $10 million race car. Granted, in my opinion, buying this car is bragging rights alone. This is adding to a collection of an already established, stable of vehicles that you've purchased in Gran Turismo 7. But that we cannot go without talking to you in depth about the McLaren F1. The McLaren F1 GTR is the overall winner of the 1995 Le Mans 24-hour race. Although design engineer Gordon Murray was not keen on entering it in races, he agreed to make some aerodynamic alterations, and the result was a win at its first race, which happened to be at Le Mans. Following the Le Mans victory, McLaren resolved to continue developing the GTR as a race car, making it a crucial icon in both the history of McLaren and the history of Le Mans. I'm going to add it to my wish list. I don't have this type of money. This is big boy money, and I have not put the appropriate grind in. Also new is the Jeep. We win the Jeep in the cafe, so I do not suggest buying this car. I'm not even sure why it's in here. The Giulia TZ2, the Alfa Romeo. This car is actually a fantastic little race car. I do enjoy the looks of this car, but let's learn some more about it. You'll be hard-pressed to find a wilder, more bewitching street-legal car than the Alfa Romeo Giulia TZ. It's also incredibly rare, with only about 12 ever built. And that's what's truly noteworthy, is that this race car has no history of crashes and has never undergone any restoration work. This specific one. You can see why it has become a collector's item. It should become no surprise that the TZ2 won the Gran Turismo trophy at the 2009 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. So very fantastic race car. I mean, its beauty is striking alone, but it's actually hard-pressed that this is based on the real version of the car, and that this car has never been in an accident as a race car. Look at that long tail, though, on this car. Just, I love these. I love those rear ends of the classic 60s race cars. Unbelievable looks. We do own this car, of course. You win this car in the cafe. I do suggest you go ahead and finish that up. Oh, mamma mia. The 250 GT Berlinetta. This car is, I mean, look at this thing. It is striking in every angle. There isn't a bad side to this car. It is absolutely phenomenal to look at. If you get the funds, again, these are some really expensive cars that are coming through the legend. Don't forget to check out kirethkart's videos for how to get the most efficient money grinds out there. The channel has a lot to offer for how to get the funds to purchase these vehicles. Of course, we have the Aston Martin DB5 1964. I believe this has been here for a minute. Same with the GT 500. OMG. The Cobra Daytona Coupe. This car right here, I do not have the money for this. It is $20 million. This is my number one car on my list, and I cannot afford it. So, let's talk about this, though. This is far and away my most desired car on here, and it's in the legend, and I don't have the funds for it. So, let's learn more about it through some envy here. The Shelby Cobra Daytona Coupe may be the most valuable Shelby Cobra of them all. Carroll Shelby was determined to win Le Mans in a Ford, so he asked his friend Pete Brock to design a coupe body for the Cobra. Its specs are almost exactly the same as the 289 Cobra, but its top speed was 18.6 miles per hour faster. Having won class races at Le Mans and Daytona, this Cobra claimed the 1965 Fiat GT Class Championship. Only 6 examples were ever produced, including prototypes. Therefore, the car has become the stuff of legends. This is a fantastic race car. If you guys have $20 million, to me, this car is worth $20 million. While I scoff at the $8 million price tag of the McLaren, I would gladly spend, I would do whatever it takes to get my hands on this car in this game. Except spend real money, I suppose. Fair Lady Z, 43269. This is actually a different version of the 240Z. This is a 432. Very unique car here. Let's read a little bit about it. It's probably one of the cheapest cars you're going to see here in the Legends, besides the Jeep. I don't know why the Jeep gets put in here. It kind of takes up a slot for no reason. But this car is interesting. The first model of the Nissan Z series is known as the Type S30. Of all the S30s, the Z432 is particularly special. The classic Z series design is powered by the same S20 2-liter inline 6-cylinder engine seen in the Skyline GTRs of its day. The 4 valves per cylinder, 3 carburetors, and 2 cams don't prove its high performance. The numbers are also the origin of Z432 model name. The fact that it had a GTR engine is reflected in its price, more than double that of the standard S30s. Furthermore, only 419 of these Z432s were produced, making it the most valuable of the first Gen Zs. There's also a higher performance competition model of the Z432, the Z432R. An extremely rare variant, it tends to fetch a very handsome price at auction. I can't resist it. Let's buy it. Alright, let's add it to our collection. This car, oh god, it's gorgeous. It is a pretty car. Plus now we can say we have the Skyline version of it. So that's about the wrap here. So that's about all we get to cover for Legend and Used Cars of the Week. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We have a couple other things that are coming down the line here. We're hoping to get some partnerships up here with our buddy Kireth on the stream, on the Twitch channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel while you're here if you enjoy this type of content. Other things that we can do, let me know, but I'm planning on doing a lot of fun things here on the stream as well, coming up for Gran Turismo 7, so keep your eyes peeled in single player. Until next time, it's Kyle Rose with KRT Sports. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the new used cars. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.